Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'll be discussing what focal length you should be using for your car photography. There are many focal length lenses out there and it can be pretty difficult to pick between which one you should be using for different situations. So I'm just going to give you a guideline that you should be following if you want good pictures for the least amount of money or affordable prices. The first one is the 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens that comes with your camera. So this lens is very affordable, but this also has a drawback. It has an 18 to 55 millimeter variable aperture zoom range, so it's not really good for most situations out there. But for rolling shots, the 18 millimeter focal length is excellent. The reason being is that the car is right beside your car and you're both rolling at 40 miles an hour, and so the car is very close to you, so it can be difficult to get the entire car in frame. So the 18 millimeter really helps to get that whole car in frame because it's so wide. That way all you have to focus on is just taking the picture. So for rolling shots, 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens is an excellent choice. Number 2 on my list is the 24 millimeter lens. This lens is very cheap. Most camera brands have it, and in my opinion, this is a great lens because it allows you to find spots which are very narrow and very tight. And you can take great pictures in narrow spots with this lens because it's very wide, but it's not ultra wide like 18 millimeter. It's wide enough so like you can fit the entire car in frame and you don't have to walk very far away from the subject. Also, it's excellent for interior shots of cars. So sometimes when you want to take photos of the inside of the car, it can be difficult to get everything in frame. So the 24 millimeter really helps to capture a lot of stuff in the interior because it's a very tight spot. So because of the wide angle, it allows you to capture that. Another added bonus for the 24 millimeter is that when you want to capture the environment more than the car, this is great for that. Sometimes you want to capture what the surrounding of the car is rather than the car itself. Instead of the car being focused, the environment is the focus and the car is in the environment. When you want to do that kind of photos, the 24 millimeter is great for that, and you can frame your shots very creatively with this lens. Now the third lens is a 50 millimeter f1.8. Every major camera brand has this lens and it's just an excellent and versatile lens. If you're on a budget and you want to know what lens to buy next, the 50 millimeter lens is the best lens you should buy next because this is so affordable, but it produces amazing pictures. I'm just going to show you some pictures that I've taken with this lens and it's just excellent. The f1.8 aperture allows you to blur out the background at the same time keeping the picture quality nice and sharp. Also, the 50 millimeter focal length is very useful. It makes the proportions of the car very real and it doesn't distort it much. Also, this lens is great for detail shots like the close-ups of cars. Let's say you want to photograph the wheels or the badge or some sort of interior detail. For those instances, the 50 millimeter f1.8 is an excellent choice because of the semi-telephoto focal length. You do have to walk a bit far away from the car, but that when you have the space for it, this just makes the photos look so much better. And yeah, just use this lens every single time when you have the chance to, and you'll not regret the photos. Now lastly, I have a 70 to 200 millimeter or pretty much any telephoto lens out there after 50 mil. These lenses are great, but you do have to walk quite a substantial distance away from the car, and it can be difficult when you don't have the spot for it. But in my experience, if you do find a spot like that, just use this lens because these lenses are just excellent for compression. What it does is it brings the background forward to the car and it makes the proportions of the car very like in your face, very bold and very realistic and professional. So just use this lens anytime you have the chance to and you'll not regret the photos. But I would add that these lenses do cost quite a bit of money, more than the affordable lenses. So just keep that in mind and buy what you can afford. If you cannot afford anything above the 50 mil at the moment, don't worry about it. The 50 mil would just do just fine for most situations. And if you don't have the money for the telephoto lens, just keep using the 50 mil. That's a great lens and it'll keep giving you great photos regardless. So just keep using the 50 mil if you can't afford the telephoto ones. But if you have the money, go for the telephoto ones. I do recommend the 85 or the 70-200 because these two lenses are just excellent. The 70-200 gives you a bit more flexibility when it comes to taking photos, telephoto photos, because you can zoom in and out, and the 85 is fixed focal length, so that might be a little bit tough, finding a spot where the car can fit in and you can actually walk far back. The photo quality on those is just second to none. So anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know down in the comments below if you found anything helpful in this video. Like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.